Good evening, folks. Welcome back. This is John Pettipas recording at 7:15 evening on Tuesday, which is the 9th. I stand to correct it. It's Wednesday. I'm one day off cycle this week, so it's Wednesday. John Pettipas recording on Wednesday, the 9th day of December at 7:15 evening, 2020. Welcome back. Now, this is a piece from, I read this every morning, every Monday to Saturday. This is the local daily paper, Monday to Saturday, and it's the Nova Scotian. Did you know? This is a really interesting piece here. Did you know? I love that. December 9th, 1979, the World Health Assembly declared the smallpox virus had been eradicated. I'm going to repeat that. It was a very important time in history. Very important moment. December 9th, 1979, the World Health Assembly declared the smallpox virus had been eradicated. The first and only disease to be driven to extinction through human efforts. Efforts to protect against disease had begun in 1796. It's estimated that between are you ready? Between 3 and 500 million people. Between 300 and 500 million people died in the 18th century because of it. During the 18th century, smallpox was one of the principal causes of death. And it goes on. Okay, so again, I'm going to repeat for the third time. It's the first disease to be eradicated by human effort. And 3 to 500 million people. It's 3 to 500 million people. And you consider now that in 1918, Nova Scotia had about 500,000 people. Now we're up to about 970,000 people. They take in the United States, I'm talking just 1776, you're talking 20 years after Declaration of Independence. So you're talking 226 years ago almost, 224 years ago actually, so well over 2 centuries ago. Now, that's it. We talk about coronavirus. Do we want a bunch of little clique of intellectual elites running our lives? I watched a video earlier this evening. You have the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, at a restaurant of all names. It's called a laundromat. And he's there with his close associates and friends. They're all sitting lovey-dovey right close together like long-lost buddies or friends. And they with his health commissioner. And it's a very expensive restaurant. And it's not cheap wine with a screw top. None of that. Bright's 88. None of that. It's expensive stuff with the cook. And you tip $10 or $15 US for the maitre d' to bring the little cap over to extrudiate the cork out of the bottle of wine. You're fancy people. You're actually intellectual elites. And it's okay, he's Gavin Newsom, as he tells independent restaurants to shut down. Unbelievable. I just watched the BBC World News America. The country of Britain that defended us, that stood up, Britain. They don't say Great Britain for nothing. It was the finest hour. Great Britain under Sir Winston Churchill stood off to Adolf Hitler. Do we want a bunch of bureaucrats in Brussels, Belgium? Bureaucratic pricks in Brussels, call them for what they were. Largely led by the Germans. Can't forget the Germans. They gave us the Kaiser Wilhelm in World War I. But that wasn't enough. They gave us Adolf Hitler and Goebbels and Himmler and the Nazis, Axis, and World War II. Do we want Germany telling Britain how to run their affairs? I don't think so. Not. Brexit, the people clearly voted for Brexit, and on the 31st this month, it will be bye-bye, bureaucratic little pricks in Brussels. Hello, fully independent Britain. The country, and I'll repeat this as a mantra, I repeat this, the country that was instrumental in defeating Hitler does not need a bunch of bureaucratic little pricks in Brussels telling them what to do. No, no, no. And we don't need the Democrats in the United States being a bunch of hypocrites. A bunch of hypocrites. Joe Biden. Mask up here, mask up there. He should take his mask and put it in his ass. Be a good place for it. Filter out the methane from the air if they serve beans on Saturday night. Probably too regular fare for Joe Biden to eat anyway, but beans. Filter out the methane from his farts, bluntly put. Okay? They say nothing about Antifa. They say nothing about the radical left. But, mother of God! Lady with Western California? Or somebody, what was this back in the spring? The churches are shut and the liquor stores are open. Hypocrisy. When you see intellectual elite, or these lefty liberals, they all, and socialists and communists, they all have one thing in common. Hypocrisy. They are hypocrites. Hypocrites of the highest order. They're high as you gotta look way up. Remember the Friendly Giant? Look way up. The H in hypocrite is HYP right o, hypocrite. They are hypocrites of the highest order. It's going to be a brief little video, but whether it's in Washington, D.C., Joe Biden, that character, and the Democrat elites, if it's the Democratic governor of California, Gavin Newsom, if it's the President of the European Union, with the distinguished gentleman, Mr. Boris Johnson, and of his people with all these crazy ideas. We have an awful lot of suicides in this province. We talk about, oh my goodness, we got 65 shot at school in Halifax. There was one case of coronavirus. One shut the school. Huh? They take their stupid ideas. A rash of suicide. I would say we had the Porta Peak tremendous horrific massacre back in the 19th, 20th of, actually it was I guess the 18th, evening of Saturday 18th and Sunday the 19th of April. 23 innocent lives taken. Not 22, it's 23. One lady was pregnant with a precious child of God. There was not 22, there was 23. 5, 10, 15, 20. And un, deux, trois. 1, 2, 3, I'm going to repeat that. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 1, 2, 3. 23 people lost their lives. A rash of suicides. Old people. Operations being delayed. I spoke to a truck driver, guy in pain because his surgery for his knee surgery is delayed. Old people in nursing homes, they can't have visitors, or blah, blah, blah. People can't have concerts, don't have card plays and bingos. Enough is enough. We cannot have these intellectual elites running our lives or trying to run our lives. We fought in the United States a revolution, American Revolution. And that was for independence. You got a prime minister up in Ottawa. There's vaccines available now from 4 different companies, 4 different countries. Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Regeneron, and I believe Regeneron, and there's one more. There's four companies. Well, Health Canada got to decide whether they're going to take. As if Health Canada, socialized medicine in Canada, got to decide whether the vaccine is going to take. Enough of that. Anyway, we do not need intellectual elites, liberals and hypocrites and others, and they're all the same. They're all the same. Intellectual elites are all hypocrites. I repeat, like Mr. Friendly Giant used to say, look up at Rusty the Giraffe. Way up! Intellectual elites. Starts with a capital H. All capital letters, full font, as they say. With that, I better wrap this up. It's almost 5 minutes before 7, and you're all busy getting ready for Christmas, the birth of Jesus, Lord, Savior, Redeemer. And so I'm going to cut this off at just after the 10-minute mark, and wish you all a pleasant evening, and spread this video around. Share it. Wish each and every one of you wonderful folks all the best, and God bless. Thank you very much. Bye for now.